started. Call the meeting to order, please, with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone, tonight. Roll call, Superintendent Larson.
Ullum.
Yes.
Odie.
Yes, the new grandpa is here.
The new grandpa's in the house. Very good. Congratulations. Saxer.
Yes.
Scott.
Yes.
Bell. Yes. Madam Chair, quorum.
Thank you. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented, please. So moved. There's been a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. No conflict of interest disclosure or waiver requests tonight, and I don't think we have any community input tonight. So that takes us to our general business section. The first thing we have under administration reports, superintendent's report, Superintendent Larson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a few items to update the board on here this evening. Continue to message out. Let's try that again. Continue to message out the importance of completing the free and reduced meal application for those individuals who are believe they may be eligible and or struggling to make meal payments. Free meals is only available to those individuals that qualify. So continue to message that out on a regular basis and utilize our established processes and protocols to deal with meal debt. Accreditation, we are in the process of finalizing our last few items. Those items have to be submitted tomorrow. We will have our desk accreditation on November 22nd. Enrollment. We ended up with a total of 115 new students. The enrollment breakdown is there for your respective review. We have 5,014 students total, and that includes our early childhood numbers, but you can see the respective system level breakdown there. The academic calendar for next year is in progress. I would tell you that it is corresponding to the current calendar. The classified council, the teacher liaison council, as well as the administrative council all work through collaborative processes when evaluating and drafting the calendar. Then that will ultimately come to the public during a public hearing, tentatively scheduled for our January 9th Board of Education meeting, and then potential adoption at our second meeting in January on January 23rd. Approaching the end of quarter one, it's hard to believe that we are through that already for this academic year, but the quarter ends on October 28th. There will be no school on November 11th for Veterans Day. Thanksgiving break is November 23rd to the 25th. December 21st, we have a 2-hour early dismissal, and that kicks off our winter break, and then we return on January 3rd. High school addition, no changes to the schedule, no changes to priorities. Our informational website maintains information for our families. We will be working on an updated video utilizing some drone footage and some of that here over the course of the next few weeks. So some exciting information as the project really starts to take shape will be made available in the coming weeks. Structural steel is obviously in progress, but we also have steel stud construction in progress, so you can start to see the building really start to take shape there in Area A. Again, structural steel as well as steel stud construction in progress, all in Area A. Area B, you can see the structural steel going up. The masons obviously will follow shortly behind that, but that is what that image is of. Foundation wall in Area B has been poured. Now they're just in the process of peeling off the forms and whatnot, but Area B foundation, their footings and foundation walls have been poured. You can see the structural steel in front of entrance, the entrance in Area B there. Area C, so the footings have been poured, and now they're in the process of pouring foundation walls. Would anticipate Area C footings and foundation walls being wrapped up probably next week, so that process continues as well. Again, you can see the footings in Area C, the foundation walls just are being poured. Madam Chair, that is all I have. I do have two items not on my report that I do want to just briefly comment on. By far, the most important item to comment on and note is the incredible work done by the Brandon Valley Dance Team here this last weekend, winning a second, or I shouldn't say second, I think it's the third in program history, but a back-to-back state champion dance team. So hats off to the Brandon Valley Dance Team, their coaches, their participants, and their supporters. It was truly an incredible feat for them to go back-to-back. So hats off to them. Also, a special shout out to the Dance Dads and their low kicks. They were extremely impressive at the welcome home. I didn't think they could pull it off, but they did an exceptionally good job of taking that direction. The second item I am very hesitant to even comment on, as I don't like to validate nonsense and stupidity with comments, but I am going to elect to do so. I would like to note for the record that the Brandon Valley School District has never had, does not have, and never will have litter boxes in any of our schools. And I would really appreciate it if people would begin to get their information from accurate sources as opposed to Twitter, Instapop, or Facebook, because the information that they are getting is completely false, untrue, and totally nonsensical. So again, want to make certain that that is clear and on the record. I have received one email earlier in the year asking the question. The response was very simply, we never have, we do not have, and we never will, but that is the only question that has really been directed at the school, to the best of my knowledge. Everything else is just noise on social media, which is generally not an accurate portrayal of things. So if you come across an individual who asks said question or says that said thing exists, please correct them so that we can make certain that inaccurate information is not spread. With that, would certainly entertain any questions that you have.
Well, I don't think we have any, so thank you for your report, Superintendent Larson. No board policy tonight, which I know everyone is always sad about. General business, I would entertain a motion to approve items 1 and 2, please.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Personnel, I would entertain a motion to approve items 1 through 7, please.
So moved.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. There is an item there under number 8 for information only. Communication, I don't believe there's anything specific under that tab for us tonight. That takes us to board reports, formal board reports. Does anyone have one that they would like to share tonight?
The Student Activities and Curriculum and Technology group met on the 20th. And lots of stuff there for you guys to read. I want to say that so far in my time on the board, I've always been impressed by the depth and breadth and expertise of the staff, and that was really evident in that meeting. We have national and state experts working on the desk accreditation policy, people that work on the curriculum committees at both national and state level. They had, I think, a couple trees of paper on the desk they're sending in. Very impressive and very thorough and very knowledgeable team, so thank you for that. Last year we did the ELA review, and this year working on the ELD and math, as you can see in there, and those are the kind of big ones. No purchase next year. A lot of things they're working on that I was really impressed by was taking kind of decisions that I think before may have been on a lagging metric. They're really trying to get more data-driven decisions, doing pulse real-time survey or assessments, with the kids that are integrated into the curriculum, so making sure that data is useful and actionable for people. And again, I think that's a credit to us and a credit to keeping our scores high and that team doing great work. And then the special education budget, I think going through there, and again, trying to make sure that all of our students here are taken care of, supported, and meet every person where they're at, was really impressive to me, and great job to that group. Thank you.
Building and Grounds also had a meeting last Thursday, and basically what Jared previously said in his superintendent report, that the school, or the new addition, is in progress and it is up to date, and we're setting all our deadlines. There's one thing that the whole school will not be completed by June 30th. There will be some renovation of some existing science rooms and restrooms that will be taking place, and they will be finished August 15th. Basically with this new addition, it's really, we're using our land to the max, and we're getting the most bang for our buck. We've got a lot of classrooms, and we're building it so I'm just gonna pull a number. We might, out of all the rooms that we're gonna be adding, might be using 6 or 7 of them. So we have plenty of room for future growth to meet our needs. Another part with Building and Grounds and the new addition here to the east, the utilities company, in other words, primarily electricity, they have been in contact with the administration, and they're working with them, that there will be some point in time where electricity will be cut off to this building. Now, date and time is not known yet, but when it's found out, faculty, staff, students, and the families will be let known. So they will still have projects to do during that interruption. And then also we discussed about, as the district keeps growing, our next scheduled construction project. Right now, we're looking at, on our east piece of ground over by Bethany Meadows, straight north of Bethany Meadows. Next summer or next spring, we're working with getting the utility services or the infrastructure put into that area. So, and we're looking at probably bidding a new school over there about a year from now. And then having construction start in the spring of '24, and with the completion starting in the fall of '25. Other than that, we looked at the long-range projections and the long-range vision of Brandon, and we feel that we're right on. And so we feel that we can continue to grow and yet have room for the kids. And that's it.
Greg, or, sorry, Mr. Odie or Dr. Larson, when we were in that meeting, we talked about how we're not building for current capacity, but future capacity, and you shared the number that we're building to a total student body size of, do you remember what that number was?
Yeah, so BV Vision 2040 basically outlines what your district will look like when you have about 7,500 kids. So right now you're at about 5,000 kids. It takes you out about 2,500 additional students from where you're currently at. The high school addition here will take your current high school capacity to over 2,000. So right now your current capacity is at about 1420, I think is what the capacity number is. With the addition of the east side project that we're currently doing, it'll take you up just over 2,000.
Thank you.
And we have 1,360 kids, 50 kids in high school currently, so it creates a lot of space for you moving forward.
So I know we aren't able to hit on all the accolades of what the students and our staff do for our district, but one that stuck out to me was congratulations to our Quiz Bowl team from the high school. I don't know if that's the right name, but they also brought home the championship this last week. That was one that I really enjoyed in high school, so way to go, way to bring that one in as well, so great job.
Any other reports tonight? All right. Hearing none, there are some travel reports there for your review. And just quick before we adjourn, rumor has it that if you don't want to cook tomorrow night, there seems to be a supper, maybe, and I'm not sure who's all involved in that. But anyway, turkey and pork in the Commons, along with a couple really good marching shows if you're interested. So you don't want to cook tomorrow night, you can get it to go, you can get it to eat in. You know, we're here to please, so. All right, with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you very much for coming.